In the last video, I showed how I made my movement and the core concept for the game. The idea hasn't changed at all, but I realized that my code was way too complicated and that I could make it much better, cleaner, and easier to add new features. Last time I was scrolling through YouTube, I found this video about state machines in Godot. At first, I didn't understand it, but after taking a closer look and watching even more tutorials, I managed to rebuild the same system, this time with about half the variables. As you can see here, this is what I was working with before compared to now. The difference is huge. I'll put them side by side on the screen so you can see the mess I was dealing with. Before, adding even one small change, like a dash, would take me at least an hour or two. I had to spend so much time adjusting exactly when a jump should end and where a sliding should start so it wouldn't ruin the rest of the code. It felt like I was constantly fixing one bug only to create two more. Now, it is much easier. I just add a new state. If the logic is more complicated, I reference the previous state so I don't have to mess with hundreds of variables again. For those who are wondering why this works so much better, before, I was using a massive tangled chain of if statements. And tried to jump, the character would sometimes just freeze because the script didn't know which state to prioritize. By using a state machine, each action is completely isolated. I have defined clear transitions, like being grounded versus being in air. If the player's on the ground, the machine knows it can trigger a jump state. If they are already in the air, that jump command is ignored. This structure makes it so much easier to visualize. I can see exactly what my character is doing at any given microsecond. It's not just about cleaner code, it's about having a clear map of the player's behavior. When I look at the script now, I see a logical flow rather than a wall of text. Another cool thing I noticed is how much easier debugging is now. When the character acts weird, I don't have to check 10 different variables to see which one is wrong. I just look at the state machine, see what state the player is currently in, and I know exactly where the logic error is. It's like having a dedicated inspector for the character's behavior. You may wonder how it took me almost 2 months to make these changes. The truth is, it didn't. After I uploaded the last video, I had to study for the most important exam of my life. It actually only took me about a week or two to figure this state machine out once I had the time to sit down and focus. The hardest part was figuring out how to pass information between states without making the code messy again. But once I got the hang of the logic, it started to feel natural. It was a steep learning curve at the beginning, but looking back, I'm glad I took the time to do it properly. Even though I haven't added any weapons yet, I wanted to show you the movement changes first, because they are the foundation of everything. Now that I have this system, adding a shoot or reload mechanic won't be a nightmare. I can just create a combat state and define the rules for how the player can move while shooting without having to rewrite my entire movement controller. I'm already brainstorming how the animations will blend between the movement states and the shooting states, and it feels like everything is finally falling into place. I've learned that you should always try to make things better, but don't overdo it. Don't spend like a year on a single thing or you'll never actually finish the game. The goal is to make a game, not just perfect code that never sees the light of day. Also, I still don't have a name for this project. If you have any ideas on how I should call my game, please drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed the progress, consider subscribing and leaving a like. It really helps me out. I'm really happy with how it's looking now. It feels like the project is finally moving in the right direction.